They apparently made 300 Google's got other businesses, but this is kind of a primary thing. And if you think it's gotten or comes from. Now, the thing about ads is obviously people who watch YouTube on where the internet advertising state is so dangerous that law enforcement agencies like the YouTube ads, you violate the terms of services. And so they give you a whole bunch of guides on how to whitelist YouTube versus any other website, right? And the thing is, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to tell you which Google.com. You can see that literally, okay, featured extensions involve AdBlock, AdBlock Plus, AdBlock for YouTube, YouTube AdBlock for entire web browsers, like Brave, the browser I use, specifically working on fighting ads every single day. So clearly it's a problem, and even Google doesn't really fight that hard against it. Like on their own store, they have an extension that would be against the TOS for another product they have. Wild stuff. So the reason why we're kind of talking about it is YouTube's warfare against ads have intensified to the point that they have now implemented new forms of advertisement, okay? So for a lot of people that watch YouTube on their television, is the title of that show porny? Oh, okay. Well, other side of the world is a little different than mine. But yeah, you start to read stuff like this where YouTube is redesigning the streaming experience for viewers and advertisers, okay? So for instance, on, TV YouTube, all right, which is totally different than desktop YouTube. I know this for a fact because every time I walk in on my dad watching his videos on YouTube for TV, because that's how he watches YouTube, not on a desktop, or even like his mobile device. He actually uses the TV application. The amount of times he skips through ads reminds me of cable television, okay? Tons of your favorite YouTubers put in mid-roll ads like crazy, okay? I personally don't. Like, throughout all my time on YouTube, I can only probably remember a few times that I put it in for longer videos, but, generally when you see, like, a crazy amount of videos or advertisements on videos, the YouTuber probably went into the actual advertising, like, setting on the actual video and chunked in, like, a whole bunch. But I don't know at this point. Sometimes YouTube can just throw in ads like crazy. And one of the ads that kind of showed up that made people a little wild is this one right here, this Dunkin' Donuts ad. So if you read what they're actually talking about over here, they said that what they're bringing is, apparently in May, they announced CTV first formats, including 30-second non-skippable ads, okay, and pause experiences. Now I believe this Dunkin' Donuts experience is a pause experience, okay? So some guy on YouTube decided to pause their video, and all of a sudden they were like, whoa, hold on here, buddy. You sure you don't want a $6 Dunkin' meal deal? And that's pretty much what it comes down to. Now, when I pay $6 for Dunkin's coffee, I'm sure it's probably better than Tim Patel's, but at the end of the day, I'm not going out of my house to go get Dunkin's coffee because I saw an ad on YouTube, okay? Wild stuff. Now, I haven't seen this on YouTube for desktop, and I think primarily it's because YouTube realizes that, you post a video and just walk away. You probably aren't looking at that screen. And I would kind of expect the same for the TV version. But clearly, YouTube is trying to over-monetize their actual website, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with, A, the costs of running the website, and a lot of the internet is getting more expensive. Like, you've probably seen a lot of your favorite streaming services increase, subscription prices across the board. But, yeah, with YouTube, it seems like ever since management shifted over to Neil, these levels of advertising have only just escalated to this point. Now, again, when you look at the price for some of these YouTube's, premium models, right, which YouTube's actual argument is, if you want to avoid the advertisements, you go get YouTube Premium. Now, I don't have YouTube Premium myself, and you might be like, wow, as a YouTuber, I don't want to get YouTube Premium. Personally, I don't really have a lot of streaming subscription services because, honestly, I find them to be way too much. It's such an intensely, I guess you could say, contested field at this point. There's a lot of them. So one post that I saw from literally 12 hours ago, this one user says YouTube increased their family premium plan by like 50%, okay? So they went from 179 Norwegian krones to 269 Norwegian krones a month. So again, somebody doing the math on that, like, if you took, again, if you did the old Jaguar math, 269 times 12, you're looking at 3,228 krones, which again, based on the current dollar, $300 a year for just your YouTube subscription, okay? Now, on a side tangent, I fucking hate subscription services, okay? So to show you why I dislike streaming services a lot, this is Prime Video, Amazon Prime, and I'm watching the show Parks and Recreation right here, and the funniest thing about it is, like, you can see how every single episode here is included with Prime. Literally out of every single one of these seasons, I think it's just season 2 where, like, you're watching every single episode on Prime, and all of a sudden, one episode out of this entire show on Amazon Prime costs like $21.99 a month. You got to join a different subscription service on top of the fucking subscription service you're using in order to experience it. This is why I dislike subscriptions. No way in fresh hell I am paying $22 a month to watch one episode of a television show. Okay, get out of here, okay? This is why I don't get into subscription services in the first place. They always told me, oh, Muda, it's better than cable TV. Bro, I was paying for packages on cable TV, and I'm paying for subscription services now by the boatload. It's not happening. Now, again, the thing about YouTube ads is, obviously it's against terms of services, but I'm pretty, like, sympathetic. Like, for me, I'm not going to get mad if you use advertisement blockers and you watch my videos. I've seen wild takes from YouTubers going and saying, well, it's basically piracy if you watch my video without an ad block. Look, I just feel lucky and blessed that people watch my content in the first place. Watching an ad or, you know, clicking on any of the sponsor links in any sponsored video I have is just, like, basically a bonus, okay? I just want you guys to enjoy watching the videos that, you know, I make. And the thing about it is, I can see the experience of YouTube because of the over-monetization and the constant mid-roll ads and the constant unskippable ads. People are tuning away from the platform, not the people on the platform. And that is when things get outright hostile and bad to the people producing the videos. I want you guys to enjoy watching my content. I don't want you to fight through YouTube advertisements. Now, I'm not going to say that you should use ad blockers. That's clearly against YouTube's TOS. But me, I can understand why somebody would choose to do that just to watch a video. Because, yes, at times, if you don't have YouTube Premium, it can be a nearly unwatchable experience. And one of the things that I really want YouTube to address, and they've done a decent job of it, but I want to talk about the wild scam advertisements that exist. So some of the stuff that I've seen floating around is from this one YouTube Reddit, right? Which is not an official Reddit, it's a fan Reddit. But the thing is, most of the posts are about ads people end up screenshotting on their devices. So this guy's watching a Mark Rober video, and one of the ads is Prison Angels Sin City. Now, this is literally like some girl, like, you know, obviously playing with a record. Now, clearly it's a suggestive image, and, you know, I don't think it's necessarily against YouTube's TOS, but I know what the advertiser in this situation is trying to do. Now, one funny one that I read out of all these was this one, where they had this, like, one meme, me waiting for the YouTube ad to finish so I can watch a video about first aid and report CPR on my grandma. Bro, just call the ambulance, bro. Call the ambulance. Granny's gonna be at God's doorstep before the ad buffers. Get out of here. Now, I like this one a lot too. I could just imagine being like imagine being like a marketing student for a second. You hear all these things about crazy historical like ad campaigns. And then the only ad kick in your ass is Skibbity Toilet, Mr. Beast, Family Guy, Jeff the Killer Slop for Gary's Mod that you can play on your phone or tablet. Now, this is a scam. Gary's Mod isn't available on a cell phone or tablet, okay? Unless you use shit like emulators, which is a totally different story. This is designed so children download ad-ridden software for free and just, you know, fucking completely nuke their privacy, give up information, or God forbid sign up for subscriptions where they just don't need to. Oh, dude, no, not Homelander. Not my boy Homelander, bro. They got him too. How bad is the contracts over at Vought where Homelander is telling me how to play these shitty mobile games? Which, by the way, the funny thing about looking at these mobile games is 9 times out of 10, every single one of these games, the gameplay does not reflect what you see. I made tons of these videos in the past, like 6 years ago I was talking about it. 6 years later, the story has not changed, okay? So no, Homelander, I'm not going to download Last War Survival Game. And I don't think any of you should either. This one's really bad. Like, I don't know, this might actually get me taken, like, this might get the video taken down, but this is a kid. This is an app called Lightsaber Gun Sound Effects, okay? So why would this video possibly get me taken down? Because it shows a kid digitally vaping, all right? So yes, vape and gun sound, and I don't really see lightsabers here. But yeah, this kid's just like vaping into the smartphone. Now, to be fair with you, okay, if I saw my kid doing this, I'd be on the most international hunt for milk that you've never seen before. Okay? I would just be gone. All right, I would realize my failure as a parent and just run. But yeah, it's a bad thing. My kids are basically looking at it and being like, oh yeah, I want to join in on that. Let me get a little vape cart too. Oh, this one, dude. Learn colors with Daddy Pig. Draw now with Daddy Pig. No download required. And then it's like mydrawing.com, and it's the big dad from Peppa Pig. Okay? Now, see Peppa Pig being waterboarded for the past by Eli so great. But this image, this disgusts me. Okay? This is quite literally haram. Shouldn't even be looking at. Man, this guy's just looking at Subnautica memes, and that prison angel goddamn image comes back again, dude. Can't even be watching wholesome memes without it. You know, imagine you're just sitting there minding your own business. Okay, you got a nosy parent with the aunt or uncle. I know we all do. Okay, just sitting there watching your memes on the internet, and that ad looks up. Ooh, you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Well, again, it's another dog water mobile game you should download. Match Family. This is a match game, by the way. Okay, mom, husband, and son are stranded out in the blisteringly cold wilds. Okay, dad abandons the kids. I guess he saw his kid vaping into a phone. And mom and kid are just rolling on the land. And nobody gives you the option of help. What, am I going to abandon them? Maybe. All right. But at least give me the option in the game. Jesus Christ. And yeah, it's literally a match 3 game. Right? That is at least the least egregious ad I've seen. We're against some really downright illicit, and of course I'm blurring this, but this is an app called Cast. It's a TV casting screen sharing application. And I guess I'll just show you what's going on. Okay, so this is the most safe part of this. So here you can see the application's camera as it's pointed to somebody's hand, right? And you can see that this person is wearing clothes, and obviously the camera typically shows that it can be a blindfold. So the parts of the ad that I can't show you, yeah, well, that's just you trying to get illegal creep shots, okay? So, yeah, that's apparently right on YouTube advertising, right on the shorts out, right there, Cats 2. So, yeah, YouTube's advertisement war has gotten more intense. YouTube is more ready to show you advertisements, and honestly, you know, it's one of those things where I really, really wish YouTube could get in and at least really tackle the worst offenders. You're still out there, unfortunately, still could target children. But look, beyond just like the annoying ads out there too, it's really the experience that I hope YouTube really looks at and thinks about it again, okay? I'm not against ads on the platform. I think obviously ads are what sustains the sites and keeps them going. But there's got to be a healthy balance between making the site nearly unusable for the audience and, you know, monetizing off of it, okay? I don't think you should be so heavy-handed because I think if you go really heavy-handed in making the experience so ad-ridden, those users that come to YouTube might end up just doesn't really have competition, okay? Yes, down the road, there are other platforms, like TikTok, for instance. You know, they're a competitor. I think Facebook can be a viable competitor if they still play their cards right. But yeah, at least in YouTube's camp, it's like, you gotta have a healthy balance. And this is not a healthy balance. And you gotta stop those goddamn scam ads, because every time I go to the YouTube Reddit board, there is just new content to work on. It's not good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it out. Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and today we're looking at the aftermath of the whole Mr. Beast stuff that has basically been taking the internet by storm the last month, and it's actually become pretty much mainstream news to the point that people don't have any connection to YouTube are actually kind of talking about it. So, I've covered, you know, a couple videos of, you know, popular Mr. Beast investigators in this case. One of them was Dogback404, who's made several videos in this case covering Mr. Beast live stream and bringing forward some really wild and wacky allegations. So to begin with, let me just recap this whole thing real quickly in a couple minutes. All right, one of the big allegations was around a former massive Mr. Beast member, Chris Tyson, you know, was alleged to be holding on to some wild art from a, you know, creator known as Shadman. Also alleged to apparently have some rather risque things and jokes said in a Discord server that had a mixture of adults and minors all brought into it. Not a good look at all. Since then, Chris Tights has pretty much left the internet. Mr. Beast has pretty much abandoned any support for them. But of course, the whole spotlight shifted over to Mr. Beast's company. When Darkpack 404 made a couple videos where he was alleging some pretty serious stuff. One of them was that Mr. Beast was allegedly running some crazy lotteries for children. Just giveaways would end up being games of chance and actual lotteries that, was a pretty serious thing, right? When you're making content for children and you're giving things away, there's a pretty ethical issue of, like, how do you distribute stuff? How do you give away prizes? How do you do giveaways? And how do you produce content that isn't designed to exploit children whatsoever, right? Which is something that I'm still kind of waiting for an answer on. Now, the other massive, serious allegation was that Mr. Beast had knowingly hired a criminal, okay? Now, one of the people that was working in the Mr. Beast company in Delaware, who was on plenty of these videos, sometimes masked up, was unmasked by Dogpack 404 into actually having a criminal record where they were involved rather grossly with a minor. And in this situation, what effectively happened was, apparently, alleging through Dogpack 404 and the people, bringing these allegations, Mr. Beast and their mother knowingly hired a criminal, into their company. So it is really, really wild, wild stuff. Now, of course, this is on the backs of one of the largest productions that Mr. Beast has ever really been on. One where he has to team up with one of the largest corporations in the world, Amazon, producing the Beast Games in Las Vegas, and that's also its own rabbit hole of serious concerns where actual class action lawsuits have been filed. Now, the reason why the story is, again, very important to me is I'm always interested in any kind of criminality at times, whenever, YouTubers are kind of involved, okay? And for me, obviously, if you watch some of my financial investigations or crypto investigations, you've seen that there have been some rather intense takedowns of some pretty larger YouTubers getting involved with pretty shady cryptocurrencies. But I also consider things like, mishandling employees. I consider things like what is allegedly happening in the Mr. Beast, where people aren't being treated right. These are, to me, as severe as any financial allegation that I've ever seen. And, before somebody goes, oh, this is just drama. I don't consider any form of this to really be drama. To me, drama is really stupid stuff. Like when a creator cheats on a significant other. To me, that's a shitty thing, but that's just tabloid gossip that I'm kind of involving myself into. This has some serious stakes into it. The serious stakes being that, ultimately it is a poor reflection on YouTubers if the biggest YouTuber in the game is unfortunately involved and is participating in unsavory activities or mishandling the company. It makes other advertisers, it makes other people from other avenues of entertainment or big companies more resistant to work with a YouTuber, because once you've had the biggest YouTuber fucking up, how likely is it that the average YouTuber, or a slightly larger YouTuber, but not as large as Mr. Beast, somebody with 10 million subscribers, 20 million subscribers, is as, are they also going to be responsible? If the biggest guy can't be responsible, what chance is it for the people below them, right? So anyways, long spiel out of the way. One of the things that kind of really got me was, again, Dogpack's most recent video, Mr. Beast's secret CEO. So the way that these videos are presented, they're kind of like these 27-minute long pieces where Dogpack sits in front of this digital conspiracy board where he just has all these articles and shit brought up. So one of the things that really irked me was this line from the video right here. And I want to see if you guys can identify what irks me as well. Given that I teach all of you guys to basically take everything here on the internet with a grain of salt and always apply some critical fucking thinking.
James Warren, my name in the last video, his Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down. So a quick profile of James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin and secret CEO. I say secret because they're not very open about that fact. He doesn't post about it on social media. It wasn't ever attached to his LinkedIn. It's never featured or really referenced anywhere. I heard that he's very aggressive. I heard referred to as a psychopath. Screams at people in instances and girlfriends. There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him. I say allegedly because it turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having to look into these cases. specifically that surprise witness on YouTube. She's been super helpful. Like,
what? Wait, hold on a minute. So you're going to make a 27-minute long video about a pretty serious topic, and you're going to bring some pretty serious charges. Domestic violence is no joke, okay? It's something that happens all the time, all right, unfortunately. And the perpetrators behind it sometimes get away with some dastardly things, and sometimes it can lead to the ultimate end for, the victim party. So this is not some joke, and to not properly verify or vet this claim before you even brought it up involving an entire name, even if you use the words like allegedly, it's a pretty shitty thing to do from an investigatory standpoint. That surprise witness TV person they brought up, well, it gets even spicier here.
They're alleging things. One of the things that these people are alleging, or one of these people has alleged to Dolphin, is James Warren, the guy we just talked about, the secret CEO, had committed some type of domestic incident, some type of harm onto a girl that he was dating. I did look into this, and I went into it thinking he had done it. Okay, I went into it thinking he did it, and I'm searching. If there was one case number I looked into, again, I could probably make a whole video on this, but suffice it to say that I do not think that the case number that is associated with this picture right here, I told Boston, that's why I said this number. I do not think that this particular case is the same James Warren for many reasons. Like I said, I did a few hours of research just into this case alone. I was in the property records. I was on Facebook looking people up. I was doing all kinds of looking at it's a common name. James, a very common name. Nobody left James. James just got listed with somebody. So I don't think that that is him. So I'm not here to
Bro, when the source you just put up on the fucking screen is going, yeah, I wouldn't vote on that. I wouldn't sign up with that, chief. That doesn't seem like a good thing. I wouldn't co-sign it. That's not good, okay? This is like a principal part of the video that you deliberately have fucked up on, in my opinion, okay? Because anybody that is editing these videos, if you've watched it back, you question and think to yourself, wow, maybe I should vet these crazy allegations before I go through with it. Giving these people an out, if you have to make a video, like, this is where it's like, in a serious news organization, this would have been a fucking retraction, okay? If I made a fuck up this big, the next video would have been like, I fucked up, here's an official retraction. Retractions are the most embarrassing things you can do, especially when you're bringing forth serious things like this, okay? This is not okay in any capacity. And basically, for me and most normal critical thinking people out there, which thankfully there is the majority of in my personal belief, will sit there and go, yeah, I really can't believe anything you say going forward. This is fucked up. And again, leave it to these YouTubers, by the way, to have like the most insane, fucking laser focus when it comes to looking through marriage records and shit in regards to any case. Goddamn, I swear to God, sometimes these T-channels surprise me. Look, at the end of all this, I'm sure that the intentions for this dog tag character are probably in the right place, but, as somebody that is being a narrator of the story, you're doing unimaginably more harm by ruining your own credibility, which means if there were actual victims in this entire story, because they're attaching themselves to you and you're waning credibility, it ultimately hurts them in the process. There is no reverse from that, okay? It's the saddest time immemorial, okay? I've seen it happen before with other cases involving vampires and fucking werewolves, but we'll save that for a different day. Now, again, unfortunately, Dogpack comes in and even says, yeah, a little update on those charges, by the way. The 6 NC criminal court cases were not for DV. I still have some FOIA requests out by an alleged current Mr. Beast employee reached out to me giving me their side of the story. I think this person is mistaken with a lot of details, but I do now believe the James Warren DV case that circulated the office was most likely the wrong James Warren. Of course, none of my sources knew that. I tried multiple times to get in touch with the person who allegedly found the charges before making my video and did not get a response. I should have waited on the FOIA requests before mentioning the DV charges and allegations. Anytime we also research on cases too, and I work with another investigator for even by myself, generally speaking, nobody uploads a video or even, I guess you could say, teases at a new video until you've got all your ducks in a row. Okay, otherwise you're just setting yourself up for failure, right? If you go back to like any investigation I've done on anybody or any product or any group or any crypto scam, every single piece of evidence I've needed to narrate the story from A to B to give you a full to start end has already been captured before a video has been produced or even teased, which is something I don't really see anymore in amongst these like new wave of like investigators on the internet. If you're going to investigate something, make sure you have all your ducks in a row and stop like releasing a video when you don't actually have all the evidence brought to you, because chances are, in this case, like we've seen, the evidence that was brought forward, fortunately, gave him the actual gut punch and not Mr. Beast. So anyways, that's enough of the whole dog pack stuff right there, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest with you, I kind of want to move on forward to something else that's kind of started. Now, obviously, since this, there has really not been any response from Mr. Beast. And to be honest, I don't really think he probably has to respond. His channel seems to be doing just fine. I think I haven't looked at the stats myself, but it seems to be doing just fine. The longer he goes without answering for it, the more interest in this quickly just fades away from like saying anything. The better it is ultimately as a creator, right? Like better it is for you. So since then, there's been another wild controversy that kicked in. Apparently, Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI launched Lunchly. Okay, now if you're looking at this, you're probably like, wow. Well, this shit's like, this reminds me of a Lunchable, and it's probably true, it's similar, but the thing is, these are filled with Prime and Feastables. So you got some electrolytes, some chocolate, and you've got, like, some pizzas with maybe, like, some strands of fucking mozzarella, and you got some nachos, and you got some turkey cracker stackers. Now, to be real, I personally don't really care so much about looking through these products. Much like Feastables and much like Prime, it's just another product that a lot of these creators build to sell to audiences. And a lot of creators, ultimately do end up building businesses. That's not really something that I'm so hard on for them. But obviously, this is a product that's designed to necessarily, compete and be sold to children as sort of like a healthy alternative to the slop that apparently is Lunchables, okay? So inside here, what they talk about is lunch leaves, okay? We've got the same protein, less calories, and electrolytes. That Capri Sun's only got 55 fucking milligrams, motherfucker. Okay, the electrolytes we're packing in Prime, 400 mgs, and of course, less sugar. So, of course, that's pretty much their branding right here. But one branding that made me literally laugh my ass off was this right here. Lunchly is changing the grab-and-go game with an innovative approach. We're here to fuel your fun from the lunchroom to the break room by packing every Lunchly box with a Prime hydration and Feastable bars. So, the guy that wants to fight, like, childhood obesity is like, yeah, here, let's chug up on coconut water and, like, chocolate, kids. Get ready and sign up for that. I love this advertising the most out of it, dude. It's like Lunchly, we've got the flavorful combos. I love this one. If you buy the leading brand, you get mid moments. If you buy us, you get big gestures. It's like this is made for Kevin from The Office, okay? It's like, oh yeah, I want bold and big. I love how when they say standard picks, it's like, dog, isn't like every single combo you're building just a copy from like Lunchables anyways? Like, how's it, whatever.